Bitch, let me tell you something. Hi, you guys. It's your girl, DijahDiva, and you're tuned in live to the hashtag Diva Gang podcast, where we talk about art, music, entertainment, pop culture, and have cultivated controversial conversations. Yes, honey. Today is episode 001. For those of you who are listening on Apple Podcasts, thank you so much for coming in with us. Those of you who are watching the video, you can catch this on YouTube or on Patreon. This is my scenery, my setup. And, this is really cute, demure, minimalistic. But, we going to upgrade as we go along, okay? So today, it's my first episode. I'm really nervous, but I'm really, really excited. We will be talking about the BBL epidemic, okay? Unless you've been living under a rock, on Twitter, literally the words BBL or the letters BBL have been trending all damn day, okay? Everybody is talking, and there's this lady named Demecia Vallon on Twitter. She said the BBL conversation deserves way more critical thinking and nuance than Twitter has to offer, which I agree, and that's why we're going to be having that conversation here. People are saying that the BBLs are hitting us like crack in the 80s. Black women are doing this. Black women are doing that. Getting the BBLs. They're also talking about how in 20 years it's going to be a Netflix documentary about the mishaps of these BBLs. So what had initially happened was there was a video on Twitter of all of these ladies in wheelchairs trying to get on a plane. They were coming coming into United States from Dominican Republic after getting their BBLs, okay? And it was just a video of them not having enough attendees to wheel these ladies on the plane. And it was just a whole bunch of all black women sitting on the little styrofoam butt pad things and being in a wheelchair after getting obvious cosmetic surgery. It is cheaper. A lot of us know that it's cheaper and easier and kind of sometimes more efficient to get medical care / cosmetic surgeries in other countries. So that going to Dominican Republic or wherever, Miami, and getting these surgeries, that's always been a popular thing. And the nuance that's needed is, this is how I feel. And I'm going to spit more facts than my opinion, but this is how I feel. The nuance is definitely needed. Because let me tell you something really quickly. Bitch, let me tell you something. There's a dog in the background, so please excuse that. The nuance is needed because it's not as black and white as we think. And speaking of black and white, I want us to decentralize the idea that it's just black women out here getting these butt enhancement surgeries, okay? White women have been doing it for years. The family on ETV that shall not be named are the main culprits and the main advertisers of getting butt enhancement surgeries, okay? White women, rich white women have been getting these surgeries for years. Now let's double back. Because if we remember in 2005, 2006, do y'all remember what was considered a fat ass? Trina, J-Lo, Beyonce, Taraji P. Henson was described as having a fat ass. A lot of people, what was considered a fat ass in 2006, 2007, 2005 is not what's considered a fat ass now. A lot of black women are naturally built like thick, big titties, big ass. It's a whole history of us being, voluptuous and thick. But one thing that I know is that's not a monolith. Not any race of anything is anything. You know what I'm saying? So everybody is not built like that, even though that is like our thing. Hips, ass, lips, titties, But the thing that shifted, I don't know when this happened, but if you watch any show, Love and Hip Hop this, Real Housewives of this, Basketball this, if you watch all the famous female rappers, if you're watching TV, all the IG models, everybody has this same exact body And it seems like, especially in the female rap circle or the reality TV circle or the IG model circle, it always seems like, I don't know if it's the companies or corporations or the labels or the whatever, paying or spearheading surgeries, butt enhancements or body enhancement surgeries, so that they can start investing in an artist or a model. Everybody is built the same. If you go on Fashion Nova, Boohoo, all of these websites where they have fast fashion, all of these ladies that model the clothes are built the same. So let's talk about the influence, because this is facts. And I want us to stop lying to ourselves and just keep it real. When it comes down to influence in media, a lot of us are saying, if you're confident and you love yourself enough, that you wouldn't feel like you have to go out and get this or get that or go do this to your body or go do that. And I want us to get out that fairy tale land of being strong enough or confident enough or loving yourself enough where influence in media does not affect you. If you drive down the street and you see a billboard, that's media. If you get on your phone and you on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, anything, that's media. All of the little ads that pop up on the side of Google or whatever you watching is media. When you open a magazine, that's media. When you listen to the radio, that's media. When you get on your computer, when you watch TV, media is everywhere. So it is near impossible, especially in 2021, where the media age is up, like to the top of the ceiling, to not have any type of influence from media. It is impossible to say, oh, I make all of my decisions, what I think is beautiful, what I think is good, what I think is positive, is all made up because of what I think and my opinions and my personal shit, and not from what I've seen on the TV or heard on the radio. That is near impossible. Because if that was the case, then we wouldn't have the type of narratives that we have being pushed on the media. If everybody was just able to come up with their own mind and make up in their mind what they thought was beautiful. So when we watching TV and seeing all of these people that y'all revere as beautiful, that you push as beautiful, all of the people that get things, have success, get the husband, get the money, get the bag, get the fame. When we see all of those people have the same shape, because beauty is not just about looking cute and feeling good. Beauty is a lot about how you live, what you get. If you go to jail, what's your sentence gonna look like? A lot of that is built off of beauty standards. It's not necessarily even just a black or white thing, but race does play a factor in beauty standards a lot of the time. But for this particular thing, it's some race in there, but I'm gonna keep it real. It's way more nuanced than a lot of people are making it. All of you bitches, no matter what color you are out here getting surgeries. If you got the money, even some people who don't have the money are getting these surgeries. So you sitting up here telling me, you put on the news, the TV, the radio, the magazines, Instagram, Twitter, on the fashion websites, you put all of these bodies on a pedestal. And now it's a whole world of people on Twitter getting mad that a whole bunch of black women are doing whatever it takes, black and white women and Hispanic women and whatever color women are going out and doing whatever it takes so they can look like that. When you a dude and you sit up here and say, oh, Ari is fine. Oh, that person is fine. Oh, this celebrity is fine. Who got fake titties. They took some ribs out to have a cinched stomach. If you put these people on the she the sexiest pedestal, or people see that these women have an easier life because of the way that they look and they built, you don't think women are going to try to go out and achieve that? It's so silly. It's so silly to me. Just like you can't put something on a pedestal on media, you can't continue to say, hey, this is the way you're supposed to look. Hey, this is what you get when you look like this. These are the things that you benefit from. These are the things you won't have to go through when you look like this, to a whole bunch of people. And they get mad when they go do whatever it takes so that they can be in a position to where they can get things and have things and be beautiful and be eligible to get married and a whole bunch of other stuff. So we need to really keep it real. A lot of y'all are saying it's not cute. I like natural this. No, you like natural bodies when they're built like surgery bodies already. when you got to cut the middleman out. Let's just keep it real. Because when it comes down to it, even in the plus size community, the fat community, the models that are pushed the most, like the Sabria Majors and the Ashley Grahams, they still big girls. But the type of big girl that's being pushed all the time, it's very, very clear what shape of body is not acceptable to have. Y'all make all of these jokes saying you bad built. This person ain't got no ass. This person got y'all talk about Wendy Williams in the way that she's shaped all the time. Even though I don't like Wendy Williams that much. Y'all talk about people all the time that have a narrow shape. Women who have a narrow shape. So when women want to go and add fat to places where it's acceptable and take it away from places that are not acceptable, who do we have to blame here? I don't have a hourglass shape. Even as a big girl, I don't have a whole bunch of hips and ass. So even me to this day still are considering going to get BBLs or getting 360 lipo and a double BBL. Why? Because I see that when you want to wear clothes, in order for you to look like the picture, you have to be shaped that way. So I'm not, and then people got to stop with this whole, you not insecure, you just had the money, so you went to go get it done. No, if you're getting any enhancement, especially when it's that invasive, there's an insecurity there. Just say I was insecure about my butt and I went to go get it done. Keep it real. But there's consequences to everything. So when you see a 6-year-old or a 7-year-old girl saying, oh, I want to be built like Megan Thee Stallion. I want to be built like Saweetie. I want to be built like Nicki Minaj. When you see your 6-year-old looking at surgery pictures and following Dr. Miami's and all this stuff, you can't get mad when you said to yourself that this is acceptable. And a lot of y'all don't understand that people shouldn't have to feel like they have to do something that invasive to feel beautiful. And if the media, and this is where we bring it back in for the cultivating controversial conversations about media and entertainment, we got to put more representation out there so that there's more definitions of beauty. If you start pushing Chicas and start pushing Lizzos and start pushing Daniel Brooks and start pushing Gabourey Sidibe's and start pushing all of these different beautiful body types, people wouldn't feel like they only have one type to look like. It's a responsibility that needs to be taking place. Everybody in the media is built the same. All of these rap bitches are built the exact same. And a lot of these rap bitches, I feel like their labels are purchasing body enhancement surgeries for them. There is no such thing as not being influenced by media. And plus, a lot of us, it was not rappers and millionaires and billionaires sitting in that airport. It was people that work probably make just as much, if not less money or more money than me. People who making 30K, 40K, 50K a year, and sometimes less, are going out to get these surgeries. So it's that bad out here in these streets where people are putting money up that they don't have to go and look like somebody that they feel will get them in better places and spaces. And a lot of it is not a lie. When you look a certain way, when you built a certain way, you get more shit. These people are getting these BBLs so they can get a husband. These people are getting these BBLs so that they can be able to advance in their career if they're in entertainment or not in entertainment. A lot of these people get these BBLs because they can't stand to look at themselves in the mirror. They want to be able to wear this. They want to look good in this vacation picture. It's a whole culmination of reasons why people are getting these BBLs. It ain't by no fault of their own. It's not their job to be able to put on a blindfold to all media and remain strong through everything, telling them not to be strong. That's a lot of pressure that we put on women, specifically Black women. That's why I don't shame Little Kims or people who done got botched. I don't shame people who bleach their skin or whatever, because what the fuck was telling them that this was a better way to look and to go? I blame the entity that made them feel so insecure that they had to go and do something as invasive as cutting their body open and putting fat from one place in another place, or cutting their nose bone, or taking out ribs, or bleaching their skin. I don't get why we're upset at people for having a very obvious insecurity. It's so backwards. I ain't gonna never shit on no woman that's getting surgery. But what I will say is that after you get surgery, you gotta live with that. So if your daughter or somebody says, I want to get surgery too, you can't tell them you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful them to death so that they don't go get the same thing you got at the same age you got it. That's the pill you gotta swallow. When you do that, especially people with platforms, you're telling people that if you are built a way that's not like this, that's not good enough. That's what you do. You don't say it verbatim. That might not be what you believe, but that's what is presented. So that is just, the whole BBL conversation needs way more nuance. It's body dysmorphia like a motherfucker. It's anti-fatness like a motherfucker. And it's not just Black women getting this shit done. It's just that cosmetic enhancements are being more available to people who it's never been available to before. Because beforehand, it was just rich-ass white people getting these surgeries, getting their lips done. They stand under the knife. It used to cost more and be less accessible, but now since people got computers and they can research, you can get a BBL and DR for $5K. It's very easy to come up with $5K as opposed to trying to come up with $20 or $30K, because that's how much the surgeries be costing in America. But that's just because America medical treatment, especially if it is unnecessarily cosmetic, costs more. But on top of that, when you go to other countries, they don't have to work under the FDA or any type of regulation to make sure that it's safe and it won't kill you. So you get what you pay for. Whew. The next thing that I do want to discuss is, speaking of beauty and being pretty and it getting you things, Saweetie did an interview with Nick Cannon talking about pretty privilege. And I want y'all to take a listen to the snippet, because I thought it was, it made me feel some type of way. I'm not going to sit here and hold you. Go ahead and listen to this here.
There are some pretty people who do abuse whatever privilege they're given. But
there's definitely pretty privilege.
Right. But it's just like, but for me, honestly, throughout my whole life, me pretty was kind of like it was a way, it was kind of, how do I say this? It wasn't a privilege for me. I was judged. Rumors were made up about me. And it was kind of always working against me. And it's just like, for me, I never thought of pretty as glamorizing my existence as a human being. So when I say pretty bitch music, I'm not talking about your face. I'm talking about your aura. I'm talking about your energy.
Right, okay.
I'm talking about your self-esteem.
You have pretty energy?
Yeah. Nobody want no stank, ugly energy.
It is the opposite of ugly. Right? So somebody...
Right. But when I say pretty, I think the biggest misconception is people thinking about fashion or your ice or your jewelry or your makeup. But for me, pretty is like your confidence. I love me a confident woman. And there are some pretty people who...
So, y'all just listen to that. Let me keep it real. I like Saweetie. I think her music is really fun. It's not deep. I don't think she's a good rapper, but I do think she makes really fun music, okay? I like Saweetie. I like her energy, but she doesn't have the range, and neither does Nick Cannon have the range to sit up here and talk about privileges. Because let me tell you what, because Doja Cat also has benefited from pretty privilege, okay? But the difference between Doja Cat and Saweetie is that Doja Cat actually has skills that she's honed in on. Saweetie has been depending and relying heavily on her desirability in order for her to get places and to stay places. Doja Cat came into the game being a bad bitch, but she is staying in the game from being a good rapper and a good artist. Saweetie has all the access, money, power, and fame in the world for her to even, at least even if she's not good at doing what she's doing, to pay somebody or to pay somebody to teach her how to become better at what she's doing. So this whole pretty privilege has worked against me. I was bullied. I got judged. People made up rumors about me. I want everybody to take out their tiny violins and start playing. Do I need to give you a tissue or a cookie? Or because when we're talking about privilege, no privilege on this planet causes somebody to experience something at a systemic, physical, tangible level. Maybe people might not be nice, people might hurt your feelings, but keep in mind when that happens to people who hold privileges, that is an individual incident, not a pattern, okay? It's not just pretty privilege. I want us to dig a little deeper. It's not pretty privilege. It's fat phobia and colorism, which equals pretty to a lot of people, which gives you privilege. Because based off of your skill alone, no way anybody who looked less Barbie-like than you would have gotten even a quarter as far as you've gotten in your career. I like Saweetie, but I gotta keep it real. Because I know so many beautiful women who can out-rap, out-dance, out-perform, out-bar, out-nice personality, good business skills, her in a heartbeat, but don't even get an eighth of the respect, visibility, or access that she gets. And the reason why you're able to be mediocre and still get things is because you look like the image of Black beauty, because people think you look sexy, and sex sells. You have a sexy factor and a desirability factor, which has gotten you a lot of things, including your relationship, your ex-relationship. I don't want to dive into that because it's none of my concern and I don't have enough information, but I can guarantee you, and I'm not trying to be ugly or weird, I'm not even going to use somebody else as an example. If she looked like me, no way she would have been able to bag Quavo. And I'm pretty as fuck. I'm beautiful as fuck, but it's not about what I think I am. It's what I think doesn't matter. It's about what the fuck looks good on TV for a person to have on their arm. And the fact of the matter is, if you're not understanding that you being lighter skinned, skinny, and having all of that body work done has worked for your benefit as your career, then I think that you are either tone deaf or lying to yourself. Because we have to really put into perspective what's going on. What privileges do I have? And to me, all you sound like is another light-skinned girl when we're having a conversation of colorism, talking about, I got bullied because I had long, pretty hair, and they didn't like me because my skin was light bright, and I had pretty eyes, and all the boys wanted me, and I got bullied because I was cute, and my mama told me because I got good hair that people was gonna not like me. You sound just like those people. You sound just like those people. You sound like a person telling, like a abled person telling a disabled person, well, all of these people, I was in high school, there was this guy in a wheelchair, he used to make fun of me because my feet worked, and he told me, you're an ugly walker. You just sound so stupid and kind of insensitive and tone deaf. It was a very ignorant take on pretty privilege. But I also felt like Nick Cannon didn't have the range to ask that question, and she didn't have the range to answer it. I like Saweetie, but she has to understand, as of lately, the music hasn't been great. The music was fun on her project. I thought it was fun. But the fast song and all, it's not great. And you have production value, the videos of everything, but you can't even do the choreography on time. You can't even perform well. You've been given chance after chance after chance after chance to get it right and to do something with yourself. And you would not have been given those chances if you were dark skinned. Because I know, or if you were fat, or if you looked a smidge was off of what you have already, visibly. Because there are people who sing their ass off, act, dance, everything. They do everything and they do everything well. And people make fun of them because they got a gap or because they got acne. Because Keke Palmer is outperforming, out singing, out dancing, and out rapping you on her worst day. But people make fun of her because she got acne. People talk about her because she spoke out against Trey Songz. People don't give that type of grace in second and third chance. Because in the game, all of y'all know that I'm an entertainer. In the game, they always tell you got one shot to get it right. Your first impression is your best impression. You get one chance to do it right. You got one chance to prove yourself in the industry. You got one chance. Let me go ahead and backtrack on that. You get as many chances as your proximity to whiteness allows you. So that means that if you're fat, dark-skinned, queer, transgender, disabled, you get 0 chances, if one. But if you light-skinned, skinny, you got your ass done, your titties sitting, you white, you light-skinned, you got long hair, you skinny, you tall, you got this, you got that, you rich, you got money, you get all the chances in the world to get it right, even when you have 0 to offer. That is the truth. And no, I'm not projecting an insecurity. I don't want people to gaslight me and tell me, oh, that's just, you're beautiful and this and that. I don't need, because even that positive, fake positive, woo shit is a form of gaslighting. I know that I'm talented. I know that I can make it if I work hard and all of this other shit, woo. But whatever it's going to take me to make it is going to take way more than it would ever take Saweetie or any other person that is as far away from looking like me as possible. I don't need people to gaslight the situation. Oh, but there's plenty of people. What about Cash Doll? What about Cash Doll? Because even she got her body done. And I feel like that is half of the reason why she's gotten where she is. And she's a fire rapper. Just because she's chocolate, she hasn't seen the things that she deserves. She has not got her 10s that she deserves. Dreezy is as beautiful as can be. She don't get none of her 10s. Chica don't get none of her 10s either. And she is she Grammy nominated. People constantly taking a chance to throw a bullet at her. And I'm just like not understanding. People should have been seeing things. If Saweetie got to make it with Tap In, then Tokyo Vanity should have been made it. Should have been made it. But we know exactly why. Because they talk about it's not just about being talented and working hard, it's about being marketable. You have to be able to market. It's not about your business savviness, it's about you looking marketable. When somebody say you got to be able to market, take the word able to market and change it to looking marketable. And that's why a lot of times people say that female rap is boring, is getting nowhere, which is a whole nother podcast conversation. But that's the reason why people say things like that. Because you keep pushing these mediocre, pretty bitches, and then you get what the fuck you pay for. And then it's on to the next, because all of y'all disposable as hell. Y'all don't have the depth of the range to have longevity. It's a microwave society when it comes down to the rap game. Well, female rap game, because if you a nigga, it don't matter what you look like. And it's just very upsetting to me that, because, and this is another thing, and this is where I gotta call out hypocrisy when I see it. You sitting up saying it's not about the fashion and the ice that makes you a pretty girl. But every time you say pretty bitch music in every single one of your songs, it is followed up by icy. I listen to your music. I know what the fuck you talking about. It's followed up by, oh, he got me a Birkin. Oh, I'ma wear this. Ass fat. Titty sitting. My bra too tight. All of that. You never say in your music, I need your energy. I need your aura, your confidence. Yeah, be confident. I don't hear none of that in your music. So when you talk about pretty bitch music, we all know what the fuck you talking about. Don't try to clean it up once you get on the Nick Cannon I think I'm woke show. Don't try to clean it up. Talking about, and I had to get on Megan Thee Stallion for the same reason with the song Body. Body, yada, yada. I love that song. I love Megan Thee Stallion, by the way. But the thing is, when it comes down to talking about making a song for body positivity, you made it very clear in the chorus what type of bodies you were talking about. You made it clear in the video what kind of bodies you were talking about. Small, like big titties, big waist. What's the lyric? Body crazy, curvy, wavy, big titties, little waist. You made it very clear which bodies you was talking about, not only in the video, but in the lyrics. So when we talking about body positivity, y'all make it clear. Y'all make it clear what pretty bitch music is. You make it clear what pretty gang is. You make it clear what type of women you're talking about. Because you sure ain't talking about people that's built like me or look like me. That's why I have to make it clear. When I'm talking about bad bitches and divas, I'm talking about fat, dark, black bitches. I make it clear. That's in almost every song I got. Fat, dark, black bitch and ain't none this fly. Fat, dark, black bitch and ain't none this petty. Black bitch, yeah, I'm glowing just like Keisha on belly. I make it very clear who the fuck I'm talking about. When's the last time you heard somebody shouting out fat, dark-skinned women? Never. Until I did it. Next topic that we're going to get into. Planet Her. And I'm waiting until I get on camera to do this because I want to do a full review. Now, on my podcast, y'all will hear my overall review about the album. And on my YouTube channel, you'll hear my overall review. But if you get on my Patreon, you will hear my full review song by song of the album. Hey, what's up, Patreon? So the first track of this album really gives me Ganja Burns tease like the beginning of Queen from Nicki Minaj. However, the beat, I don't not like the beat. It's just that it's not really giving me what I like. It's real island type beat on YouTube. It's really giving me that energy, but she was spitting. The flow in the second verse was phenomenal. It was insane. I like the meaning of the song. I like what she said without having a god. You can't have God without a goddess. I like the lyricism in the song. The chorus was cute. I don't think repetitive choruses are necessarily lazy. I just think that it was super repetitive. But you know what? I think that's the key to having it be catchy and catch on. So I like the first song. I like it. Am I the hugest fan of it? No, but I might need to give it a re-listen. I'm feeling it. I feel the first song. She came in. That's how she coming in. So we obviously about to have a real cunty type album. I see where we're going with this, and I'm here for it. Now let's go to the next song, Naked. I like that this chorus to the Naked song better than the first one. It was still repetitive, but it just had a little bit more meat in it. The verse was pretty good. Again, I don't think Doja spits whack verses. again, the beat from the first song sound similar to the second one. It's kind of like segued nicely. It was a good transition. I love island songs and island type beats, but I like island beats, but not island type beats. If you're gonna do a type beat off of YouTube or whatever, but she got too much money in the label for her to be getting beats off YouTube. It just sounds like it still. I'm not a big fan of that sound. I use beats off of YouTube, but it don't sound like it. So yeah, it's cool. The second song is cool. I don't hate it. I can see it's Planet Her. It is more emphasis on the her right now than it is the planet. I'm not getting that like sci-fi techno type sound yet. But let's move on to the next song, which is called Payday featuring Young Thug. This is going to be interesting. Let's get to it. Okay, now that was Payday featuring Young Thug. And you know what? I don't want y'all to think that I'm super critical, because I am. I am not easy. There's been so many things that's happened in music, in entertainment, in performing. Beyonce was upside down. Michael Jackson flew in a spaceship. I've seen a lot. It's been a lot of new things. So now it's kind of like nothing's new under the sun. People make a remake. So I know this seems like I'm going on a tangent in the middle of the album review. I just want y'all to know it's just that I've seen so many amazing things that it's tough for me to be super impressed. Okay. And I'm not going to diet down for the times. Oh, that's not how people rap anymore. That's not how music is anymore. No, it should still be quality. It should be mind-blowing quality. I shouldn't have to dumb down what I like and how I like things based off of how things are now. I can evolve with the times as long as the evolution is fire. And one thing about Young Thug that I have to say, and this is a little bit of a tangent as well. Young Thug and I believe Ray Shrimmer, during that time, the Rich Homie Quan, Young Thug, Fetty Wap, that era kind of ushered in this whole Roddy Rich little baby singing, rapping thing that I'm not a fan of, but I can appreciate it when it's done and I can still understand what you're saying and it makes melodical sense, okay? Young Thug just makes sense. That's just his style and I fuck with it. He is a pioneer of that style, and Doja Cat was kind of doing that in the whole song. She was, yay, hey, like she was giving me real lifestyle about the money type tease. And Young Thug, of course, came in, did his thing, did what he does. Was there super lyricism in this song? No. But the flow is something I can appreciate. The style, I can appreciate the style. This beat was way more unique and less tight beatish than the other two. Yeah, this works. And I see this song doing really, really, really well. This is going to be, you know how on the last album she had songs that were popular initially and then songs that became popular, like Streets and Say So, because Say So and Streets weren't as popular as they were when she first dropped Pink. But now I feel like this Payday song is going to be like Streets. It's going to be that song that pops a year later. This song is going to come up. Like, I feel like that song is going to do really well. Let's move on to the next song, which is, I don't know why. The name of this song gets me really excited. It's called Get Into It, or Yeah. I feel like she about to spit some shit on this song. And I don't know if it's going to be nasty or just raunchy. I don't know what to expect, and I'm very excited. Let's go. Let's get it. Okay, so with this song, she was still sticking with that high-pitched, that real short interval type thing that, you know, that short interval type, like she was getting into it. She was spitting. The flow was hitting. I was here for it. Yeah, get into it. Yeah, I like it. I like the song. It's fun. I like it. The beat, the Payday beat kind of bled into this one too, because I feel like it's I don't know if the whole album is gonna do this. The two songs that bleed into each other, two things. I'm not mad at that method when building an album. I'm here for it. I like the song. I like that one. I'm actually going to add that one to my repertoire. I like that. Of course, the single Need to Know. I'm not going to listen to that on camera because I already know that song. I thought it was fire when it first came out. She was spitting. The beat was refreshing as hell. It didn't sound tight beatish at all. I thought she was spitting. I like the visuals that came with it, the video. I'm not going to listen to that because it's the single. We're going to move on. Maybe I should listen to it off camera, then come back because I don't like jumping. So I'm going to just go ahead and listen to it. Okay, so that was I Don't Do Drugs. Okay, I get it. The guy is the drug, you know. Ariana Grande ran her verse. I like the timbre and the cadence of her verse. The music, the beat is pretty good. I like it. I like the lyrics. The chorus is pretty good. I'm just noticing a theme halfway through. I'm almost halfway through. Most of these songs only have a first verse and a second verse and no bridge or no third verse. It's a pre-chorus and / refrain and a actual hook, but it's not any bridges and third verses. But I've noticed that in music in general, what the hell is happening to the bridges? I still believe a song could use a good bridge. Each one of these songs is like 2.5 to 3 minutes long. I'm used to listening to an album with less tracks with longer songs. Maybe that's just the old school thing, but that's what I just noticed. Because I'm reading the lyrics along because I like to know what the hell is going on. The next song is called Love to Dream. Let's see what that's about. I'm excited. Vocally, this is her strongest vocal song so far on this project. The chorus is nice. It's soft. It's a soft, slow song. The lyrics in the singing verse in the first one was fire. I also like I like the way she was spitting in the second verse. Her flow was really unmatched. I don't know what to expect with her flow. I don't know if she's going to go fast. I don't know if she's going to slow it up. She uses different cadences for her flow that are outside of the norm. Hey, my name is Dee-Juh from back in the day, and this and the or different from the 3-part, the 3 harmony that the Migos kind of started. The if I gotta put it, it's not that, and it's also not the if I gotta get it, then I gotta get it, then I go on. It's not that typical Roddy Ricch shit either, or Lil Baby shit, and it's also not the if I gotta do get it at the top, but it get cut at the top, but it to the it's not like that. It's a really unique flow that I never heard of that is really catching me off guard every time. I don't know what to expect when she start rapping. I don't know what cadence. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know if we're going to slow it down because she also switches her flow up several times in the middle of a verse. And I like that. Keep me on my toes. The next song I'm very excited for because if y'all know me, y'all know how much I like The Weeknd. So let's get into it. Okay, so the lyrics were good for The Weeknd's part. I wonder who's writing the lyrics for I wonder if she's also writing the whole song, like the choruses and her verses and the features verses. Not the rappers, but you know, the singers. Or are they writing it together? Because his verse sounds like something he would say on his own song. So I guess. It was cool. I'm a huge Weeknd fan. A little slightly underwhelming. It could grow on me later. Yeah. It's a lot of bubblegummy type, real ding 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 type instrumentals on here. The only one that had a beat that was bah bah, like hitting you in the back of your head was Need to Know, which is the single. The rest of the song the beats are really teeny boppy / mixed with hip hop so that you can spit some hard shit. I don't mind it. And I also don't mind that she didn't rap on this song. I feel like Doja Cat is beyond a rapper. I feel like she's just an all-out entertainer. Let's listen to the next song, Been Like This. Also, I noticed, small tangent, you know how you listen to music on Apple Music and it has that little star next to it to indicate which song is the most played or most popular? I always think it's very interesting when an artist drops a song, especially if they did not have a single, what we choose, what the public chooses to, they all agree is the song that slaps. Even if they do drop a single, if it has like 2 or 3 stars on the album, what is the other songs outside of the single that they chose? I think it's interesting that the Ariana Grande song didn't get snatched up by that star, but maybe that might change because the album did just drop, I believe, this morning. So let's move on. That this beat is it sounds fresh, it sounds homemade, like it sounds like the engineer was in there doing his thing. I like this beat a lot. I like the timbre of the singing. I like the style that's chosen, but I'm gonna give this whole album another listen. I always give things second, third, and fourth chances when it comes down to listening to music sonically. But if the lyrics from You Right for her in The Weeknd was on Been Like This beat, I would have liked it better. I think that You Right and Been Like This should have fused on. If y'all know The Weeknd or Drake or, you know, people that are in his team, you know that they love to slow it down at the end and give you, Saweetie, y'all can learn a lot from you, girl, gotta teach me. Or like The Weeknd, he's like, cause I'm heartless. It goes into like almost 2 songs in one. If they had did that to those 2 songs, I would have liked both of those better. But you know, they're not bad. It's just that it's my opinion. It's my opinion. And I like Doja Cat, obviously, because I'm not about to sit up here and review music on my anything if I don't like the artist or if I'm not looking forward to it or excited about it. I'm not just gonna do stuff for GP. People can give me suggestions, but if I'm not fucking with the artist, because if you give me a suggestion or if it's something popular, I'm gonna listen to their other shit to see if I even want to listen to this shit and waste my airtime. So next song is Options featuring Jid. Or JID. I think it's JID. I like JID. I really do. I like his work. I've listened to a few of his songs. I have one of his songs downloaded. I like him. So I'm very excited. Options. This sounds like it's gonna be lyrical because it does have JID. So I know she has JID on here, and he don't play. It's not like you got another little take a 3,000, 2,500 NLE, NBA, ABC, D, F, G on the song. No, you got a true lyricist. So Doja, I'm excited to see if you can keep up. So this song I like. I feel like JID ran it. He ate. I would have liked her rapping like she was rapping and get into it. Or Need to Know on this song. I like the song. The beat, I like the beat. It kind of reminded me of Mask Off with Future with the flute. The chorus, I love this album is giving me cadence, good cadence. Every song has really, really, really good cadence. And I love the flow. I like her flow. Her flow is not matched to none. I am enjoying the cadence choices on this album. And that's on period. Next song is Ain't Shit. And I'm kind of excited for it because it does have that star next to it. So people like it and I want to know why. So let's get into it. Now, I 100% know why that song is so popular. It got that Summer Walker heartbreak ass value. Her rapping on that second verse was second to none. I think that this was the best rapping on the album so far. the best rapping on the album. The chorus was interesting. It was giving me real Candy Burris writing type vibes, like 2000s, 1990s. It was giving me real Candy Burris tease with the chorus. But like I said, and I'm gonna keep saying, her cadence is impeccable. But she was rapping her ass off on that one. Now imagine, I'm gonna save that for my overall thoughts for the album. The song was cool. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna say her cadence in the verses was really good, really creative, really outstanding choices. But that was extremely underwhelming. Yeah, I don't have much else to say. I wasn't a big fan of that song. I do want to give all the songs a second listen, but I'm not looking forward to listening to that again. I love Doja Cat, just my opinion. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but that's one of those songs that you scrap off the album, or put on the EP. I don't really like that. That's the one song that I'm not really into. Next is Alone. Okay, here's my final overall thoughts about Planet Her. Here's what I feel about the overall album. Do I think it's trash? Now, I like Doja Cat. I try not to be critical, but if we're going to do music reviews on my art-centered podcast, I'm going to be real about my opinion. I was not expecting any of these sounds to come off this album, and that's a good thing and a bad thing. Okay? I was expecting some intergalactic shit. I was expecting most of the songs to sound like Need to Know. I was expecting the laser beam sounds, the spaceship taking off sounds, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the I'm from Planet Her. I was expecting techno shit. I was expecting like ET type value to the album. I was not getting the intergalactic world. What I got was a very soft cushion pillow happy time world. I was getting the Kiss Me More energy toward the middle where they was sitting in. I was getting that kissing a dude on my pillow type vibe from the whole album, which was unexpected, but I'm not dying over it. I don't love it. Because when I think about Planet Her, I'm thinking about technology. I'm thinking about intergalactic shit. I'm thinking about robots and aliens and stuff like that. But when you say her, I think of centralizing womanhood and saying how womanhood is like the clash of the universe or something. And I got that from the first song. But I also don't appreciate, I don't know if it's not Doja's fault, but this whole idea of anything that is women-centered has to be romance and relationship-centered. Almost every song, with the exception of Payday and Naked and Woman, is about a breakup, a bad relationship. And I feel like we have that already. Even with the R&B girls and the singing girls, how many more songs about relationships, love, and breakups are we going to have? Let's talk about real shit or something fun and different and spunky. I thought that, and let me tell you something else I'm not a big fan of. I don't like the whole 2 choruses, 2 verses, the song is over in 2.5, 3 minutes. Most of these songs had 2 verses, and that's it. No bridge, just 2 verses. None of these songs had bridges, I think, except for Need to Know and Kiss Me More, which were the singles. Every song on here is 2 and 3 minutes long. It's a 14-song album in 44 minutes. So I like full songs. I would have appreciated a bridge for most of these songs, especially You're right. I would have appreciated a bridge for I Don't Do Drugs. I would have appreciated a bridge for Been Like This. I would have appreciated a third verse for Ain't Shit, for Get Into Ya, Go Get Into It. I would have expected, I wanted more stuff. And instead of having a pre-chorus and a drawn out chorus for half the songs, I don't think they were generically written. I'm just saying, instead of having a chorus where you have a lot of breaks and having a long-winded repetitive cycle, you could have cut some of, even if you wanted to stay in the 2.5 3 minute range, you could have cut some of that and extended your rap verses or your verses, or put a bridge in. You see what I'm saying? The songs do marry and transition well into each other, which is a big proponent to putting an album together. I do like the way that they run. I just was not, this was a very soft, chill, smoking a cigarette, smoking weed, whatever you smoke or whatever you do vibe. Like, it's very fresh out the shower type vibe. And that's not what I was expecting from a Planet Her album. I was expecting something that'll make me want to put on an aluminum outfit, some latex, long nails, pleaser, something that'll make me put on some green eyelashes and go cat and get my life. That's what I thought that this was going to give. And because that's what I thought this was going to give, that's kind of why I'm feeling slightly underwhelmed. The only song that I surprisingly liked a lot from here is, I like Payday. Payday is a good song. I'm not a huge sing rap Young Thug. I'm not that big of a fan of that, but I like the choice, the active choice on that. I like Get Into It. I really like that song. The singing on, I think, Love to Dream. I like Options. I do like Ain't Shit. I do love Need to Know. The single Need to Know is my favorite song on this whole album. And I really hate that for me. I don't like my favorite song being the single, because I feel like that's lazy on my part. But that's just my style. That's my opinion. So if I had to give this album a grade, I would give this album like a 76. Like a C. Like a solid C. I would give it a 76. Now let's move on and listen to KenTheMan's new song, I'm Perfect. I'm very excited because I love KenTheMan. Shout out to her. Whoo, I'm nervous. Let's do this. Okay, Ken, the motherfucking man. Nigga. I think, first of all, Big Cuz on the beat. I do like the beat. I like the beat a lot. It's I was like, this beat sound like something. It's obviously a sample of Motto with Drake, Lil Wayne. And I like the fact that she did that type of flow. I was trying to figure out what beat it was, but yeah, that's what it is. I like the slow down. I like the chop of the beat in the second verse. I really like that. Her rapping. Yeah, absolutely. I like the fact that no, I ain't a Crip, but double C's in this bitch. Shouting out the North Side. Shout out to us. Hey, shout out North Side. Yeah, she was rapping and she had a chorus. I would have did the chorus once and just first day out at this bitch. Just because I would like to see what else you have to say. Like, the chorus gets in the way to me sometimes of shit talking. I need to hear some straight shit talking for a minute. Like, I just want to hear you talk shit. Fuck that chorus. I just want to hear you talk some shit. The chorus I'm into. I just really wish she would have just scrapped that second one and kept running that hoe. Because bitch, you obviously got more on your mind. Like, get to it. But she always talking shit at the end. That's what she do. And I'm here for it. It's going to be in the mix. I'm wondering, Ken, and I know you going to see this, so don't even act. Are we getting another album? Are we getting an EP? What we getting? And are these the singles? What's going on? Inquiring minds want to know. Yeah, I'm into it. And on my podcast specifically, let's center it back. we are going to be centering art and music and seeing how this music and this art and how things that are happening in entertainment, movies, music, art are how they actually apply to everyday life and affect everyday life, because art is nothing but a reflection of life. And I want this podcast to be centered around art. A lot of the times I felt like when I was doing my trial runs for this podcast, a lot of it was centered around gossip. It was a lot centered around negativity, especially because this podcast is about Black art specifically. But I also don't feel like just because we're talking about art, it also has to be centered around oppression. Those conversations are going to come on this podcast regardless, because that's just the world we live in. But I wanted to center this around art, healthy conversations about art and creations and being creative. And I just wanted to listen to some music, because that's what we're going to bring it back to: the music, the movies, the paintings, whatever it is that is out or whatever is current or fresh or new or inspiring to me. I always want to double back down to that. Now, I said what I said about the album. Here's the thing about Planet Her. And I want to get into this on another podcast when we're talking about albums and sequencing, and we're going to break it down to the nitty gritty. We're going to talk about albums, we're going to talk about singles, we're going to break it down, and we're going to have full-fledged conversations that really bring this thing around to a circle. When we're talking about an album, okay, there's a lot that goes into making an album and a lot that a person goes through to make an album. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm talking about this album in specific, when an artist has their evolution, let's talk about something popular. 9 times out of 10, if your sophomore album does not outperform your freshman, your inaugural album, your first album, if it doesn't outperform, that's generally a rule of thumb for the indication for the rest of your career. Now, am I saying the rest of her career is damned? No, I'm not. I like her. I will continue to support her because I like her. But let's just do an example. Michael Jackson, we got Off the Wall. Flames' first album. Well, technically Ben, but adulthood. Off the Wall. Second album was followed up by Thriller. Thriller, usually your sophomore album is going to be your best album if you're here to stay. Usually people we lose, their sophomore album underperformed. I'm not saying we're going to lose her. I'm not putting that in the atmosphere. I'm just saying that's a rule of thumb. Same thing with Beyonce. First album, Dangerously in Love, fire. She followed that bitch up with B-Day, double fire. See what I'm saying? Let's move on to Lady Gaga. You know what I'm saying? When your sophomore album generally has to outperform your first album, okay? In order for your career to have decent longevity. People have come around, people have broken the rule of thumb before, but that's just something that I've observed throughout being a huge, avid music fan. Now, there are some people whose second album underperformed, and a lot of those people we don't hear from anymore. And that's when you can be a person like a Jay-Z or a Beyonce or a Taylor Swift or a Lady Gaga or whatever. I try to center Black people, but those are the only people that came into mind. That's where you get those people from who have range to experiment on their third and fourth and still be in the Black, still do well, still be able to continue to outdo themselves. You get your Drakes. Your Drake can put out So Far Gone and then put out Take Care. Take Care way outperformed So Far Gone. And that's why he was able to do a Views. That's why he was able to do a Scorpion. That's why he was able to use a formula to make sure he had success in the beginning. But then now, in his past maybe 2 or 3 albums, he was able to experiment and still be successful. you have to lay the foundation down with your first couple of albums so that you are able to have that freedom to experiment later. I hope that makes sense with you, to you guys. That's kind of where I'm at with that. I do like the album. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. It's not, and I don't want to compare this album to the first album. I just felt like the first album had a little bit more sound diversity, and I also think the first album gave what the vibe is that she was trying to give, that she said she was trying to give. This album, to me, my personal opinion, if you feel different, 100% valid. To me, I feel like the vibe she advertised this album was going to give did not give. The only song that gave that vibe to me was the 2 singles. There was a few songs that were the last couple of songs were underwhelming. The what's that song? Not the Alone. The last couple songs on here were underwhelming. I wasn't into it. It was giving me very much, I needed to fill up this album tease, and really wasn't here for it. I also don't like the fact that the songs were so short and we didn't get no bridges. I didn't like that either. I was going into this wanting to love this album, and I'm gonna keep it real. I only love the songs that I already liked before it came out. Yikes. Not trying to be negative. I still will continue to support her. I hope that she don't try to shadow ban me or anything like that because I have an opinion. I wasn't really into it. But that is the end of today's podcast. #Diva Gang Podcast, where we talk about music, art, entertainment, pop culture, and have cultivating controversial conversations. Thank you for tuning in with us. Bye, divas.